hard to see a guy or a male break down or become sad, for me, personally. So I think from now on, when I see that you're in a mood, like, yeah, today, not looking like yourself, let me ask, like, are you okay?
Excited to have you guys back. You are my host, Mr. Roro. I was waiting for Camila to actually laugh like that, man.
It's Roro.
Cool, it's Roro. And then I have my co-host. I'm not gonna introduce them. I need them to introduce themselves. So we'll start with our beautiful lady this side.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Avu.
Oh no, wait, you can choose that. Okay, I'm Avu. Okay, but yeah, well, she's Avu.
Okay, I'm Idiot.
Idiot.
Mashat. Extremely drama.
So, before we start our show officially, we have a nice icebreaker, which will help you to get to know us. So we're gonna randomly pick whatever is here, and then
Yeah, and I think
we're all gonna answer.
Yeah, I think we should just add that we also want to know the subbies that we don't know.
So yeah, guys. So these are just random questions that we ask each other. We just wrote for each other, and we're all gonna answer it one question. And if you guys have more questions, things that you'd like to find out or to know about us, please drop a comment, send us an email, just inboxes, DM us, and then we'll just make sure that we have your question in the next episode. It will be nice to get to know, for you guys to actually know us better, and for us to also know the people who are interested in watching the show.
Yep.
So the first question for today, I have a lot of questions for you today. I think AB wrote this one. It's you. Written all over. It says, "Do you believe in love at first sight?" I think AB should answer this because it has.
That's it.
Is that it?
That's the question.
You made it sound like there's more.
Yeah, like
Oh,
it.
sorry. Do you believe in love at first sight?
Yeah. Oh, my style.
Yeah, well, 'cause it sounds like you.
Yeah,
wrote
I
this.
think I do. That's how I met my partner. I saw her, didn't know where she stays, didn't know anything about her. And then I went and did my research, went to the ground, asked around, searched on Facebook, couldn't find her, went to her brother's page looking for her. And eventually, when she was starting her magazine, she was like someone shared a post from the magazine, like the cover. And then obviously when you go into the page, you will find who the founder is or whatever. Then I inboxed her, and yeah, I inboxed her. Must I go further?
No,
Because it won't end.
Because,
Yeah,
like I said, guys, this sounds like a question AB would ask. Yeah, because you saw he just took the opportunity to tell us about his love life and how he got it.
I'm scoring points. You see, I'm even telling them on YouTube. The whole world knows.
World. Anyway. And then you?
Love at first sight. Not really.
Why?
It depends. Like if you're gonna be technical about what love is, there's no way you're gonna love someone without knowing them. But if we say like or interest, then yeah. Depends how you're gonna define that love in the question. That's my
Or
answer.
that's the you need context.
That's my answer.
Okay. That's your answer.
Yeah, well, I do. I do, guys. I'm a sucker for love. You guys know it. I see one person, I'm like, oh, I love this one. I'm gonna marry this one first day. So yeah, it's not that I'm not gonna give you a story of how, but I believe in love at first sight, and then you just build on a relationship and things that come in love because
Do you
I
do, you- do
think-
you wanna maybe add like a reason why you believe in love at first
yeah,
sight?
no,
Because
because
I think you have more of a story around it. Like, it would be nice to hear your reason why you believe in love at first sight.
okay.
Don't give us your love
I'm not trying
No,
to.
no.
I'm trying to avoid that. But the reason why I say I believe in love at first sight, actually like it echoes to what you say that it depends on how you describe love.
Okay.
The thing that she says it's a feeling, and then you get attracted. To me, that's love. It's part of love. So the fact that I felt that, I feel that every time I see a person, or the first time I see a person, then I love that person. Because then eventually, throughout the long run or whatever,
Sure.
I still feel
So-
that I just build on that.
So also, I think, just to add on what the both of you guys are saying, is that love is not, like, love at first sight is not really just focused on a relationship, like with another part, with a different gender. It's can be friendship. Do we define friendship as something like love at first
I
sight?
saw this person and I laughed there and laughed.
Yeah, yeah,
All those things,
because
yeah.
like you saying, you meeting someone for the first time then defines if you love them or whatever. So does it marry into both?
It does in a way. So yeah, I think so. You guys should just keep on watching this. I'm sure one day we'll touch on the stories and why we're saying what we're saying now. Then it will make sense. So far, we're just giving you, and I think we'll just be confusing a whole lot of people because
Well,
we know why we're saying what we're saying
Yeah.
because of our stories and how we've seen each other experience love differently.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
watch, keep on watching, and then you get to understand why.
Comment
we say we
below.
believe. And you guys also share what you think, and I'm sure you guys will give a different perspective. I would really love to hear what you guys have. So without wasting any time, I'd like to just jump into it. So my topic for today is based on what has been happening recently, and then I just linked it to what has been happening. Actually, this thing is now trending now. However, this thing has been existing for years, which is emotions of a male person, if that makes sense. So I'm basing this from T.D. Jakes' book, which is called Emotions. So which is his emotions. So the reason why I decided to touch on it, I just looked at how the rate of male suicide has been increasing, and how we only paying attention to it now, whereas this is something that has been happening for generations and generations, especially from the black communities. We think men are superheroes, not just black, but I'm just since I grew up around those communities, that's what I've been saying. Guys are superheroes. Guys can't tap into different emotions without them being belittled or made to feel like they are not men enough. Okay. So, just to give you just a short example, a male kid will be crying, or maybe because he fell or someone hit him, comes to the house and is crying, and then the first thing that a mother will say is like, "Hey, Tula, or don't cry because boys don't cry," right? And then whenever it's a child, if it's a girl child, then that child will be embraced, and then will be given comfort or will be allowed to even embrace that emotion. Mm-hmm. So the problem, I just started reading more about this, and then just trying to figure out why are men killing themselves now? Why are men bottle up a whole lot of things? Why people saying now all of a sudden men should talk? Men should, because what's happening now? Guys are killing themselves, and people are saying, no, but if I would rather, I saw a post that said, I would rather listen to your story than come to your funeral. But then, was I given an opportunity? Or was that environment created for me to be able to tap into that emotion and be able to share my story? Right? Before I tell you what I read and what I'm basing this on, what do you think about this emotional side of it, and where does this thing come from in terms of emotions?
You wanna start? I feel personally, if we've done our history and we track back, the men was always the ones who were going out to fight, right? Going out to hunt. That has always been a male's character. So you were always put at the forefront of all the dangerous things, you know. And then, as time went on, there came a rule of ladies first. I understand. So, do we then, once it's ladies first, do we then forget about the power that we were always given by everyone within the community? How do you switch the roles? I understand. So I feel the power that we give a man, we can't overlook that. Like a man in society, whenever something is burning, they will always call a man. Whenever something like needs to be fixed, they will always call a man. So you can't really shy away from it, but you must also remember that you have emotions as a man. It's important to show your emotion side. I speak personally for me because I was raised by a woman. I'm the only boy at home, and crying was normal. But just when you're outside, you meet other guys who come from different households, and you can be seen. Like they kind of like influence you to say, dog, look, it wasn't painful. Why are you crying? But you are allowed to express your emotions at home. So then you now start getting into their way of doing things, So there's a lot of pressures. There's a lot of societal pressures why men become emotional and why they hold on to things. We also don't make it a norm to speak at school. Just at school. It's just, when a teacher walks in, it's good morning, ma'am, mark register, the day continues. No one cares if you ate breakfast, no one cares how you feel. So we need to make it a normal thing to just actually say, today I'm not good. So it's also just then how we greet each other. I don't think people even say, I'm fine, without realizing that they're actually not fine. It's just become a norm. Hello, how are you? I'm fine.
That's how you should answer.
That's how we answer. So we hide a lot of emotions because we don't speak enough. So yeah,
I think you're right. You just touched on a lot. Actually, you gave me an idea of how I should have posed the question. I would have. I know I was just looking like should put it this way, but I think I should have asked it as, where do you think the problem started? And because now we're here now, men are killing themselves because they don't think anyone else there's anyone who wants to hear the story. There's help out there. So now they just think the only solution is to kill themselves. So where do you think the problem started?
Okay. I can't speak for men, but from what I've observed, I would say everything starts at home. Everything, whether good or bad, unfortunately, the breeding ground for whatever grows inside me, it was watered at home, it was planted at home. So depending on the environment, like you mentioned, AB, you're the only boy at home.
Sure.
So crying was normal.
Sure.
So obviously you're gonna come to us and cry when you wanna cry because
Sure.
that's how you grew up.
Mm.
So someone else who grew up where men don't cry, boys don't cry, even today, 30-year-old, 40-year-old will be that person. Men don't cry. So I think background, family background, and how you were raised.
That's
is
where it
comes
starts.
from.
eh?
And there's a friend of mine, Robert. This brother of mine actually helped me a lot in terms of tapping into this emotional side of it. Because there was this other time when I went to him, I had a lot of anger. I had all these thoughts about suicide and stuff. And talking to him, he mentioned something that, dude, when God created us, he gave us the element of, or he gave us emotions, right? So now you have this emotion that you don't know how to deal with because no one taught you or allowed you to deal to experience. Now you facing what you're facing now, and it just becomes too much because you don't know how to handle it. You can't cry, and you think if you cry, then you'll be seen as weak and everything, and then now it's hard for you. He just what he said is like, dude, imagine if you allowed yourself to cry. Just give yourself a chance and tap into that emotion of feeling sad and being vulnerable, so that help can come to you. Because when you come to me and tell me all the stories, like, dude, I'm going through this and this, I'm a Exolo. I shouldn't say Exolo. I should tell you, yo, dude, I feel you, right? Because what you said is, we are from a society that says that that is not so painful,
Sure.
right? So who said how you measure your pain, or you measure how,
Yeah.
I don't know, like who
Yeah.
came up with that measurement? Say no, you can only start crying when
It takes this much.
you understand, when it has this much. So I think I agree with you when you say that yes, at home you are taught this, but then when you get out there, the world
Yeah.
says no.
Yeah, and I think also, man, like, just man, like, we don't create, like, there's like, even when someone shares a story or feels like they can share or speak to you, we don't take it serious because it hardly happens. It's just like, like, let's say you share your story amongst us friends 4 times. By the 5th time you come, when we see you approaching, it's already like,
Yeah.
Mabalabala now.
they already have a nickname for you. Like, he's gonna hear another story. Let's hear what's the story today. But you need to comfort that person. So that also then kills their self-esteem. Like, that's why you end up going to suicide as an option. It's like, okay, clearly I'm a joke.
I can't talk about
I
this.
can't talk about this.
Without even also being
Without-
seen as
yeah.
weak, as if like I don't have my
Without
things
people
together.
judging you.
Mm.
So we need to create an environment where it's easy for us to speak about such things.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at, for example, there's something that was trending that I think was last week when DJ Spoo was hugging a tree. That's emotion. But people treated that as like,
Zimcalile is there.
you see. But that's him sharing advice on how for you to
It's
connect
okay,
better
dude, it's
with
okay to
nature.
connect with-
You know, people failed to see the purpose of what he was trying to say, but looked for a joke. If he didn't have self-esteem, he could have done something.
But I like that you also touched on that, because I think if you look at it,
And it's also not a masculine thing to do. When you're hugging a tree. A hug in jail.
exactly that, because the
Yeah.
problem is we live in a society, social media and everything else, we laugh about everything else,
Sure.
like about everything, especially the serious stuff. We joke about it. Oh my word, his wife is hitting him. Oh my word, oh, we're gonna make memes and
Sure.
everything. I saw a post. I think they were talking about, who's that guy? Okay, I forgot his name. But they were talking about guys, celebrities that were caught online or live, expressing emotion, and everyone just went to Will Smith.
Will
When he
Smith
found out,
tried
yeah,
this.
you saw that post, right?
Yeah.
And everyone else was laughing, and my mind was like, guys, this is the problem. No, why are we not seeing that we are killing these guys? Not saying he should have talked to us as well. I've seen a psychologist. We have a problem. We are laughing at each and every serious things. When that guy found out that his wife was cheating on him and he was going through it online, no one posted like, yo, dude, I know we feel this. There was no campaign, whatever it is, that to help other men that are going through that. Instead, they laughed at him and then made memes. Imagine someone who's going through that, who's struggling about that and wants to talk. Now it's like, yo, I can't even go. I can't even talk to anyone because now I don't want to be in that shoe.
And you know what's sad, man? These trends last for a day or two, a week max. The next week, they move on to the next one.
Yeah.
You know, so this is why this kind of platforms exist. You know, to show people that it's okay to speak, man. And also you look at how, like a simple thing, bro, like Roro, telling a brother of yours that you love them. You sometimes have to think about it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just say it when it's just the two of us. I can't say it when it's just.
When we drunk, I love you, dog.
You know,
It's that.
and funny that you this thing also how you mentioned that where we come from is important. I had the same conversation with my nephew. I started getting him used to telling me that he loves me, and whenever he does something good, bro, like it's okay to hug me. There's nothing wrong. My youngest nephew, he then found it like, because he's young, but if we, the older ones, can do it, obviously we'll do it, but he's still getting used to it. He was just like, nah, I'm not doing that.
What?
I'll do it probably when there's no one around. Because there's the social pressure, community pressure, there's pressure from the community. Because they're not used to being shown love.
And now they're laughing at. Because I think I also look at it that way as well. Like, okay, I think these people are going through things like you actually.
And
them,
you know the ones that are teasing you are the ones that want it the most. They look at you like, you said I love you to your uncle. He goes home, not even his dad says I love you.
Or even greets him.
Or even greets him. They don't even have a conversation. So it's easy for us to go outside and mock something that you need.
Yeah.
So it's a what is it called? A fake. Someone said it's like those guys. I saw in a post. Sorry, I mean post. They were like, yo, those guys who buy big cars just to cover that area that is not they're not strong in.
They want the car.
Right. So look at the car and then you think I'm good because I know I'm a little boy inside. So I think also then it's a lack of someone to look at, someone who's a good example of it's okay to tap into different emotions as a person.
Yeah, bro. I think love is the center of everything, bro. If you lead with love, things become smoother. Like if you just enter everything you do in life in love, it just becomes easier to do all the other things. But we don't speak enough about love. We don't act enough on love. Even politics, bro. If they were leading with love, they would give us the things that we deserve. We would be like when money comes in, here's 500 billion, I would then put those people, the people that I love first. But because they don't lead with love, that's why you just have potholes everywhere.
What do you think before I touch? Because I think it's good for us to have point of reference as male, and I think it's high time that we, this generation that is thinking about these things, we start leading with that. We lead with love. We start teaching young boys and showing them that you guys, it's okay. It's okay to act in love. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to cry, feel the pain, release it, and then you'll be able to look at life and other things from a different perspective.
Yeah.
So now with that, actually, it got me to start thinking about the like good examples of guys that tapped into their emotions, that guys that cried, and guys that we look up to, right? And the best way, the only way that I would actually look at it, or the only person to me would be Jesus, right? So I went to the Bible and then looked at scriptures and tried to see when did this when did Jesus then tap into that emotion? When did he show us that it's okay? Because then to me, I looked at it that way. That okay, this was him teaching us that okay, it's okay.
It's okay.
So interesting enough, I found a post from a brother of mine, Jay. He wrote something so profound. I'm just gonna read the first few. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But he based everything on John 11:35, which is Jesus wept, right? So he said nothing obliterate the societally constructed masculine standards like the verse in John 11, verses 35. Jesus wept. So before this verse, John had already taken us through Jesus' emotions, which is clear he did not hide them. Although Jesus was around people who admired him and known him as the miracle worker, he became vulnerable and wept in expression of what he was feeling at that time. Not only that, he wept as a male person in the midst of other men, worse, even in front of women who ran to him for help. So if there's a perfect model, Jesus would be. Because now, even in churches, everywhere, because I think a lot of problems also start from church and all those, we believe like, men should. So,
before you continue, I don't, I'm still getting into the spiritual side and stuff. So I think just explain for someone also out there who's like me, just what that verse is talking about in simple terms, just so that we just all understand it properly.
I actually thought you mentioned that, so I actually wrote it down there. That's about actually based it on the Lazarus story when his friend Lazarus died. That Jesus was very charged about his friend. So this is Jesus that we know, Jesus who can raise the dead, Jesus who can heal people who are sick, the sick. You understand? So we know that this is, come on, it's a superhero. Then now he's told that his friend is sick and his friend dies. Now this is Jesus that can raise a guy from the dead. However, he embraced the pain that he was feeling and actually I always look at it as he allowed Lazarus to die so that he can show us that he was here to feel the pain that we human beings feel. So when this person who's Jesus' friend and is regarded as Jesus' closest friend in the Bible dies, we see Jesus who knows that they can raise this person coming and weeping. So in all that, this is a man that when he was called, because people remember Mary, I think it was Mary who called him like, no, come, your friend is sick. When he came, and which was late, she then said, you would have been alive, I think, if you came earlier, right? So knowing still that, so meaning that these are the people that are looking up to Jesus, knowing that he would make a plan, like a man, any other man, that okay, we would have food if you were here or something, right? This wouldn't have happened if you were here to protect us. So now these are women looking up to him, and then there's a crowd as well, men and other people that are there at the funeral looking at Jesus, waiting for him to make a miracle. However, he breaks down and cries with all the power that he has, like any other man, how we viewed. And then proceeds to make a miracle, which is calling out Lazarus and waking him up from the dead. I don't know if I summarized it.
Yeah.
Well,
You summarized it.
it's too long. I gave you the whole thing.
You were not finishing. Ah.
Sorry. But yeah.
No. But I hear what you're saying.
Mm.
And like I said, lead with love, bro. You will, because that's what will lead to emotion. You know, if someone you really, really, dearly loved, there's no way you will be smiling. There's no way you'll be smiling. So the reason why he reacted that way is because he loved that person. Love was the center of that thing. I understand. So it's just like anything, bro. If think of anything, it doesn't even have to be a person that you love, but it's that sneaker that you love. The minute you just step on and you just watch them, you just step on the mat, you don't smile. You are looking for the nearest cloth so that you can be sparkling again, you know? So, yeah.
So I just she's very quiet today. I don't know if
You know I can't cut people when they speak.
yeah,
Oh.
sorry before.
Can I speak? Okay, what I wanted to say was, as much as this also comes from the surroundings and the background and whatnot, I think it's also important to say men should have that thing from inside. Like, as much as society won't allow you, allow yourself. Give yourself that chance. It's fine, okay? The environment doesn't allow, you've been raised to keep it inside, but now the ball is in your court. Like, let's not shift the blame per se. Let's not shift the blame to say, hi, it's because this is how things are. I can't cry anymore.
And I think also there's different ways to express emotion. We're not saying go out there and find someone to speak to. There's a pen, a page. You can write.
Other people go to the mountain and scream.
Yeah.
So you know what I like about this,
Sure.
is that we're not saying you should seek therapy and everything, because we don't know all those things, right? Because we're also learning this thing. So we're just saying this is what's happening in our society. We observe. These are our observations.
Sure.
Right? So we see men struggling.
Sure. How do you, as a guy, how do you deal with expressing that emotion?
I think I mentioned the story of my friend Robert. Robert is one of the people. So I talk, I write, I talk. My wife will tell you that I talk, and sometimes told that I'm very emotional. Not by my wife, but I don't want to say like, yo, can't your wife things, but with the people that I talk to. So I tap into that emotion and it kills me. Well, I have crazy ideas and buttons where I'm like, okay, I need to release this. And the only way I know how to do it is sharing. So that way it frees me. Personally, it frees me.
Sure. You know, when I was in high school, I used to deal with it differently. Because I stayed alone from in high school. So whenever I would just feel lonely or miss home or whatever, as crazy as it's going to sound, that's what I used to do, and I feel a lot better. I take a glass or a plate and throw it on the ground.
It's hectic.
It's very hectic. Yeah.
No, but you know, like just that thing of letting it go.
Releasing.
And dude, I don't care what time it is, if people are around, people can hear, but just letting it go tells me that it's going to be okay. So that's what I'm saying. There's different ways, man, to express yourself.
Yeah.
Some people jog, you know, take walks, listen to music. There's those things. It's not just, we're not just saying speak to someone.
Exactly. And that's all. Whenever you go to social media, you'll hear that. I don't want to speak. I don't know. Maybe I wanna write it and sing about it. There are guys who rap about it. There was a time where actually back when I used to live alone. I would cry. Actually, there are things that would get me to cry. There are things that I just want to scream. Just take a pillow and just let out that thing. So there's different ways of handling it, but I think it's just a matter of knowing yourself and just knowing. You will know. I feel like you know what you need.
Sure.
Like you know, okay, there's this pain, there's this thing. It's here. It just it's
you just need to
heavy.
let it go. And you know, sometimes, man, it's weird. Like we try to. You know, it's like you're challenging yourself. Nah, I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. And it's like I'm not gonna cry. You're crying. You know, it's always like no, this one is not too emotional. And it happens a lot in funerals. I know it's a weird example, but like you can if you,
Opportunity when you do
yeah, no, it's like you observe
Yeah.
because like everyone's emotion, like you can feel that everyone is sad. So always look. I'm not saying go intentionally look at who's crying, who's not crying, but look at how the men are always trying to hold it in. You know, they're trying to hold it in, but eventually, in his corner, I'm telling you.
But I want to hear a woman's perspective in terms of sharing emotions. Sorry to cut you.
Sure.
A woman's perspective in terms of emotions, because I feel like they're the ones who
Who are emotional.
mastered this whole emotion thing. It's like how do you handle emotions, and how would you suggest one to sort of try and find that I'm not sure if I would say a solution or a way of dealing with it actually, of expressing
A man.
a man. Or from how you
No,
Yeah.
from how you
female
do.
But
yes.
like how I would suggest for someone else to
Yeah,
express.
not a man specifically.
Oh. Okay, I think as much as you say women do it freely, it also depends on the women, because I know women who don't cry. Like, guys, my bestie, she will not cry. Like, it takes a lot to make her cry. So let's not, you know what I say, don't put me in a box. Let's not put them in, because I want to speak for women, but I'll speak for myself. Because I express myself. I believe I express myself a lot. So if I'm not happy, you'll know I'm not happy. When I'm happy, you'll know Avu is happy. So I think it's a matter of being free, whether it's a good emotion or a bad emotion.
Sure.
Just be free to put it out there. For your own good. Like, I'm doing it for me. I'm not thinking about how you're going to take my screaming or my crying, but it's what I need to do right at this moment for me. So I think that's how I address. Like, if I want to cry, if we are fighting about something and I want to cry, I will cry. I'm not trying to make you feel bad or to make you to comfort me. I'm not thinking about you. So for me,
it's you at the
it's
center.
all about me. Crying or expressing emotions is very personal. So I would suggest don't overthink it. Like, don't think, but if I cry, how is she gonna look at me? How is he gonna know? Because then that's not helping anyone.
Yeah.
I think there's also, when you're talking about this, actually, I'm just thinking of how it's happening right now. We're talking too much. Because I realize that men really want to talk about this thing.
Yeah.
Because now you want to share your experience. There's a need for guys to talk about these things, and there isn't a platform.
You know what?
There's always a men's conference.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, imaginary.
You know what we need to stop doing as men? Stop creating this fake men's conference. Have a real thing. Have a real thing where we all sit around the table and talk.
Let's not have
This thing of brides and that's why I hate soccer. And I'll say that again. I hate soccer. Because we want to sit there. Wait, firstly, you watch the game for 90 minutes. Then you are at a bride. You are speaking about the same game that you watched for 90 minutes for another 2 hours.
I know Jay
No.
beat you up for that comment, but yeah.
No, but I'm telling you, you know what it is? We have to make time for serious talk.
Yeah.
Like there's enough time for sports, there's enough time to talk about whatever is happening in the world. But now let's talk, bro. Like, what is wrong?
Yeah, so assess your cycle.
Yeah.
Make sure that if I think she'll tell you, I'll go to the car wash. She'll tell you, okay, I'm going to the car wash now. Come back mad. I'm like, dude, we were there with guys who are 20 years older than me, but there was nothing they were saying. And you can tell that this one is trying, because a guy will say, well, probably they're drinking or something, like, yeah, but I'm a fit, I am a fuzz. Dude, that's an opportunity to find out, because clearly this person is having a problem with our fuzz or umfaz waki, right? So, but all they will say, now what's it now? Joe, and then next thing they laugh. Dude, that was someone. You understand that? So
and
next
you know
thing,
what one thing. Sorry to cut you. Well, one thing that's boring when you ask the real questions. When are you gonna talk about it? When?
Oh, we bash you like when?
And then it's just boring how we make so much time to talk about soapies. Like you watch this thing 30 minutes for 5 days, and then you still watch the omnibus, and then you still talk about it at the bride. Come on, bro.
Yeah, that's true. So until we stop thinking of what will be interesting for you to talk about, I want to talk about my money, I want to talk about my cars and everything. Talk about serious things like, hey guys, even though it's uncomfortable, but I'm telling you, I've tried it and it works. Say one uncomfortable thing, like, dude, how do you handle this thing? Hey, happened never so good. And then you realize that actually 90% of the guys that are there will jump into it. I remember there was a time back in the days, back in the days, I'm very old, guys. I mentioned I was not married then, I was still virgin. I was like, hey guys, you know those things. I feel too, how do you guys handle that? We used to call it Maria and everything, right? Someone who knows Maria will think about it. Let's say,
is that what you used to call it? Maria?
I don't want to explain it. Those guys, I don't want to get into it because now I'll have to explain why we call it Maria. But then, okay, that's how I found out, oh, that's Maria. And then these other guys who were cooler than me, I thought they were cooler than me. I thought they were experienced and everything. They're like, oh, really? Hey, Maria Uzim. That's how I had it. And then they explained and we spoke, and I was like, actually, I'm not the only one. And then I was like, okay, but how do we do it? That way, all of us left there knowing, well, okay, fine, this is what you do, this is how you handle it. Until we learn to have those uncomfortable conversations with each other. Yeah. We're cool.
You know what? Well, a very interesting thing, man. I personally believe a lot of guys in high school lie to each other.
Yeah.
About Maria.
Even now.
Even today's youth, bro. They will tell you, a long time, grade 8. Grade 8. We worried about life orientation. You already orientating. Serious. No. So, but also, you know, just to go to this thing of talking, I think, like even when you go out, please just stop for 1 minute. Don't ask me what do I do for a living. Ask me something about life. What am I going through like life?
What's
Maybe even structure the question differently. Don't ask me how are you doing that. How do you manage to balance your life? You're always on the road. You're always doing this. Let's have a conversation. You know, because now it's like.
And you actually know this. I always tell you that, dude. As soon as someone asks me, "Hey Joe, what do you do for a living?" You try. I leave. Yeah. I get bored. I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about that.
You're not going to leave.
You don't know me as a person. Hey, exactly. You're not leave with what? Telling you how much I earn, how much I have in the bank. It doesn't help you at all.
It doesn't help me also.
I wasted my time for talking to you. So next time, whenever I see you, I'd want to run away.
You know what I'm going to start doing now? I'm going to show people my LinkedIn profile. That's what I do. Because we all want to talk about work, right? Might as well just take you to a work platform.
Yeah.
But and these are the same people who would then, when they go on social media, they will ask questions that you could have asked someone in person. They will fetch you in the DMs. Why? You were with me, bruh. You would have gained more substance because you can see my emotion. You can see how I'm expressing myself about this particular thing.
Yeah.
But you are trying to take the short way out. Nah.
Yeah, no, just to I just want to close it because I'm also looking at the time. I just want to say this, and it's something that, like I said, that it's something that was hitting me. I actually had a conversation with my little brothers today, and I was teaching them about rape, I was teaching them about consent and everything, right? And I ended up realizing that. Then they were like, those giggles, and I actually realized that these are the things that we haven't made normal.
Yeah.
So, guys, there will never be a good time to make these things normal. So you start sweating, you are seeing what's happening with men. We are dying, guys, and it's bad. It's not good. Already we are short. Already we have a lot of females, and we can't have another Ubaba Kasbanbani taking their lives just because he had no one to talk to. Let's create opportunities for other people to approach us and share things in a group of our circles. Let's make it. Let's make a way of one of us to be able to share the things. Let's create that opportunity, that space where we're able to touch on uncomfortable conversations. Let's be there for each other, and also let's seek for help. If you think you're crying won't help for you, if you think reading or talking or writing won't work for you, I promise you there's always that one person who's willing to listen to your story, and who's willing to just give you advice. And also touch on that in terms of advice. Sorry. Whenever someone comes to you and shares advice, especially with guys, especially with us guys, like, dude, I'm going through this. Like, Ivubi. Michael Jackson and I banger. Instead of listening, you don't have to share your story. Other people just want someone to just listen. Tell me. Talk, and then let me give you a hug.
Sure.
That's all I need.
And I think also just on advice, apply it, bro. Because it just shows that you were listening. I gave you my time to listen to your story, and I'm trying to provide you with a feasible solution. The least you can do is just apply it. Because if you want to change the situation, you can tackle it the same way every time. Understand? So that's also another thing with James. We've got this thing. I just don't hear what he's gonna say. They're just trying to prove a point. Like, no, he always has time to listen to your problems. That's the guy. They just keep coming. All you're doing is speaking, but no one is applying. So nothing changes. We go back to the same place where we started.
And I think all the time I used to tell you that I've done giving people advice.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, what do you think?
I just wanted to bring a different. I know you're closing, but I don't want to open a can of worms. But I think this is a challenge for me, because it's hard to see a guy or a male break down or become sad, for me personally. So I think from now on, when I see that you're in a mood, like, today, not looking like yourself, let me ask, like, are you okay? Because it's very common for you to ask me, are you okay, when I'm being moody or when I'm sad or whatever. But it's very rare for me to give you that opportunity to speak your mind, to say, what are you going through? Is everything okay? It's very rare.
And maybe he's not moody, he's just going through something.
Yeah, you guys are guilty of that also. The two of you.
No.
Can I finish?
Another way, sorry, but okay.
Wow. You didn't ask me what was wrong. But you guys are just saying you were not yourself.
But yeah, so ladies, let's use the opportunities when a guy, whatever he is to you, when they are being moody, find out what's happening. Are you okay?
So, be quiet now.
Because there's pressures that we put on men, and they put on themselves as well. Whatever it is coming from, there's pressures that are there.
Sure.
So it's not always the case that he must be looking after my emotions and my well-being. I'm also allowed to care. I'm also allowed to just give him random hug. I get random hugs. Why can't I give random hugs? You understand? So now for me, Shem, it's a challenge to say, pay attention to the male. How are they feeling? Like, is everything okay? Are they just being moody?
From an early age, from a
Yeah.
small child, let's just create that space. Let's hug them. How was the day? Like I always think, like I always call in, I'm just checking in. Are you okay? And everything. So I just realized, like you're saying, that I think we should, as a society, males, female friends,
Sure.
partners, and everything. Let's create a platform for someone to, or an opportunity for someone to actually, not even an opportunity. Let's make sure that we give the love that we're receiving,
Yeah.
right? So call AB, like, dude, what's up? Be quiet. What's up? What's going on? I'm just checking on you, dude.
Sure.
Enjoy your day. Bah, done. And the same thing, I have a friend who does it. Michael, my friend is Michael. He will call me, or actually just send me a text. You know those things. As much as he's doing it as if like,
Yeah.
but I can tell,
Checking.
okay, he's checking on me.
He's checking on you. Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's check on each other. Let's not, everything shouldn't be about us. The fact that I'm quiet in that corner it has nothing to do with you. It's me dealing with my problems, dealing with work and everything else that is going on in my life. Like you're saying, different pressures. So let's create that environment where
Well, it's calm.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know. We as gents, we have a long way to go.
we do.
Because,
we do.
you know, I think women always create those environments for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, they can go to a spa. Obviously, you're not going to just sit and watch someone massage you. You're going to speak with your ladies. Where do we go? Out. So we're
So
definitely
car-
not going to talk about.
Or car washes.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about how I was crying yesterday because the sound is not allowing me. We don't go to those environments that
Where you forced to speak.
enable us to talk. The environments we go to are enabling us to post.
and to
Not
act
to-
happy.
To act happy.
act
We
Can't
have
be said
this
at a party.
ish,
The club.
face mask. Come on, you can't be there.
No.
You see, even at Bryce, you must check the Bryce for the gents. Music is loud. There's booze.
No talking.
There's
Ladies
meat.
are there in the corner sitting
Talking
and then, or
in the kitchen.
The ladies are in an environment where they can speak.
Yeah.
They're chopping onions. The knife can never make too much noise. But outside there, yeah, the sound. The Bryce stand is also making noise on its own.
Yeah,
It's
no.
just like you're waiting for an opportunity to taste the meat. There's no concentration. It's not even like
Playing pool and
last week
everything.
was tough.
You understand, guys? I'm going through the moves right now. How
You
do
must,
I handle it?
guys are funny. You must even hear them when they start the conversation. Like, yo, Ukraine, act sharp.
What is it these days?
No sharp. Yes, I don't want. You know, they don't like. It's just a touch and go.
Yeah. Like,
So it's like, hey, let's not go there. Hey. Like we wear this protective gear.
It's like that. Like I
Go
say,
for
even
such
with
things, bro.
you look at it with your father, hey Ushap, it will be different from how he says Ushapu with your sisters. So I think it's that. I'm really gonna cut this. Sorry, guys. So clearly, there's a lot that we need to say about this. And if you picked it up, I actually played it in a way that there isn't actually direction to how we were doing this because there isn't. It hasn't been established yet for guys. So we would speak based on, hey, this is what I'm thinking. There isn't, guys, but we need to establish it. We need to create that environment. We need to start dealing with this thing. So I'm challenging each and every guy out there to start creating that environment, to start speaking out, to start finding themselves and seeing what will work for them. Also to females, let's make sure that you give me an opportunity to come and cry and to come and express emotion don't look at me as weak. Gents, you are not weak for crying. Actually, you are strong. You are strong. I wrote something here. Sorry, last one. It was like, Jesus knew that Lazarus will wake up, but still he wept. He understood that embracing pain is not negating pain. It actually proves how strong you are. So you are strong for dealing with that emotion, for tapping into that emotion, because God wouldn't have created or wouldn't have given you that emotion if you were not supposed to use it at first.
Yeah.
So use it, guys. Why not use it? If I have a sport car and I have shifting gears and all those things, use it. So that is your shifting gear, whatever that is that you. Come on, guys, let's use it.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
think in closing from my side, gents, let's really just change. Let's try to do better. But while we're trying to do better, let's push through the pain. Let's not hide it. Let's not try to be strong. Just push through the pain. Cry through the pain. And yeah, in closing, my closing line. You wanna say it with me? No.
Yeah, I think 1, 2, 1, 2.
Conversations must be had, and conversations will be had.
Shout out again to Sasekiso for sponsoring yet another episode. I guess Changanishlu. Sponsoring yet another episode. We are excited to share with you our next sponsor. You guys, I see these guys are coming up with nice numbers, nice offers. We are so excited to give each and every one of you guys platforms. So keep on sending emails, keep on telling us that this is what I want from the show, this is how I want to share my product. So yeah, again, disclaimer, like we said, we are not professional, we're not speakers or not experts or anything. We're just sharing our opinions.
We just like talking.
We like talking, guys. We like talking because these are things that we go through on a daily basis, and we would love to for us to share our opinions with you, and also would like to hear what you guys have to say. So thank you. Enjoy your week, and every Sunday we'll be sharing our episode. So we have established that now that every Sunday we are sharing. So yeah, night.